since I've done a salt leek. And I know there have been some requests, so I'm going to take you through. I'm making a stack here. You know, saltysidewalks.com, we intentionally spread the gospel through the arts. You can see I have had a good day. So we intentionally spread the gospel through the arts. So what does that look like? How do you do it? How do you get started? So, oh my goodness, you know what? How you get started? You just start. You just start playing and creating. And the word says that his word will not come back void. Listen, we can get all wrapped up in how we're doing, what are we doing wrong, what are we doing right. He promises us that his word will not come back void. So there is no sense stressing about it. You just gotta be obedient and get the gospel out there. So with that said, I'm going to show you, these are the ones that I'm kind of working on. They're not done yet, but I thought I've got to get this video out before it gets too dark out. So on the front, it's going to say praying for you. The back is because he bends down to listen, I will pray as long as I have breath. Now these I had promised to, we've got a lot of open orders right now. We've got Shelly that needs them for her church. There's a cute little lady that after Bible study grabs them and gives them out in her community. I want to make sure she always has enough to do that. And then Brittany is putting them out to homeless people. So that will be, this is Shelly's batch, and then there'll be a batch for Brittany. And then there's another batch that's going out to here in Concord, Charlotte area. We had oh, and Shelly's also got for the flooding in Fayetteville that we're trying to figure out how to get them in. And then there's just a church outreach here in Charlotte after the riots that we had and the tragedy of death. So there's lots of places and spaces where we can get the gospel into people's hands. So let me take you on a quick trip of how I've been doing these kinds. So, Mom, you're gonna hear my dog barking. So I had just pieces of scrap paper laying around, and I just used what I had. Like, it really was just use what I had, and then I went with color schemes that worked accordingly. So I've got some stripes. I've got little green flowers. This one was really cute. It was just words. These are all made from playing cards. I just glue them down into playing cards. So I cut out the strips first when I have the whole big piece of, here, I will just show you. So if I have a big piece of scrap paper, I don't even use a ruler. I just kind of measure out where the card's edges, and I just make sure I keep it kind of straight because I tend to not. Fold it up against the ruler. Now I'm folding it up against the little metal ridge there of the ruler, and then I just start tearing. So I'll just keep doing that, you know, for the whole page, and tear, so that I have strips that I can just fold up onto the card. So now I do use Elmer's glue, not that I can find it. I'm just going to cheat for right now because I can't find what I did with my Elmer's glue. I might have to make up another batch, but I do it in, this is too hardened now. I do it in baby food jars or any kind of jar. I put in glue, and then I put in, so if I put in this much glue, I'm only going to put in like that much water and then shake it around, because you don't want it too watery, because then it does not, it just is not efficient anymore. So I am going to use for this one matte gel medium, which is acrylic paint with no color in it, no pigment in it. So it becomes like a glue. You can glue with it. You can thin down your paints with it. So I'm just going to use that. I don't tell people to go out and buy it because it's expensive, and there's really no sense. Elmer's glue is just fine. I'll use the glue sticks too, but not so much for gluing down paper, because paper, I need the base to really want to stay down. So my hands are filthy. My cards will get smudges on them. I'm okay with that, if you're surprised, right? Because it's just always more texture. Okay, so that's down, right? So that's how you get your first stage down. Just give it a swipe with a card so that you're really making sure that you've got it as a nice solid piece. Okay, so that was the first step. Second step is I had an old Baptist hymnal. So I just grabbed out, for some of them, I didn't do this on all of them, I grabbed out a piece of hymnal. This Baptist hymnal has a whole section on evangelism. So I love to take out hymns from there on evangelism. So, and this one, it says one by one. And that's how I feel about Salty Sidewalks. One by one, the Lord gives a love letter. Okay, so imagine, if you will, that this card is this. I glued down the little piece of a hymn. I took paint. I'll just show you here. So on the edges, this is one way to get your edges done, and then I'm going to show you another way. So here I just took paint, and I'm just going to drag my, see, that's not, I rushed a little bit on that. So here I'm just going to drag my edges in, go one way, go the other way, so it goes on both sides. And there you have like cute little edges done. Then you have got to put it someplace to dry because it is a messy situation. Okay, so imagine, if you will, that I have the hymn, I have my edges done, and I took just pink paint, and I'll show you again. It's going to be a little bit lighter, but that's okay. So I just took pink paint, and I sort of made like a gumdrop. So I just did up, down, over, up, down, over, so that I sort of get a gumdrop. Okay, putting that aside. So here I have a gumdrop. So the next thing I did was take, so you're not going to see this. So here, I'm going to do it in brown so you guys can see what I did. Okay, same brush. I used the same brush to do all the flowers. So here, coming out from the middle, you see, coming out from the middle, I kind of just make a leaf, and you just keep going. Imagine, if you will, that if this is like the bottom, you know, those leaves are gonna they're gonna have to kind of go the other way, because they can't all stick out straight, you know, like that. That doesn't happen in the real world. Can happen on your drawings though, because there is no way to do this wrong. So if that's how it is in your little world of flowers, that is just okay. Okay, so then I've got my gumdrop. So I have my scrap paper, I've got my edges done, I've got my hymnal down, I've got my gumdrop, and now I just did the flowers. Okay, putting that aside to dry. So now I have my flowers. So this one, you see, does not have the edges on it. We know how to do this way. So let me show you now. Any old stamp pad, don't even look what kind it is. Don't even look, don't peek, don't peek. Don't even look what kind, it doesn't matter. Any old stamp pad, you just take it and you do like this. This goes really fast. If I can knock out like hundreds doing it this way. The paint is more tedious, but sometimes it's just cute to have that matching visual from something inside to the outside edge. Okay, so now what I did was I have the flower. So it's just the white here, right? So I have put in, I just used a Uniball, no, a Pilot. Hold on, I'm getting encumbered by all of my excess here. I've got a Pilot Precise rolling ball. I use lots of Uniball Pilot pens. They just work. And here, all I'm doing is I'm coming in and I am putting up against the round part, because that's like where the shadow is. So I'm kind of laying in the around the base of the flowers so that they look like they're really kind of cemented in. And then I'm just sort of figuring out which one's in front of which and laying in the appropriate shadow. So I feel like this one would be, this one's in back. Okay, so you just kind of go around your petals and you just define them, find them and define them and give them some dimension. Okay, so here So let's say that you have one that is, and then I just do a little hujikingi in there. That's a real word, hujikingi. Okay, so now you've got that. Okay, so here is a purple one. So I'm just going to show you here on this one. It's going to be hard to see the black marker, but you got to trust me that I really truly am laying it in. So here I'm kind of following where the brush strokes of the marker were, not the marker. Lisa. I'm kind of following where the brush strokes are and where they're darker, and then I'm just going to make that be the darker part of the petal because I don't have to work so hard. So here, coming in, it kind of comes around like this, and then there's a really dark one here. I know you can't see this, but you gotta trust me. You don't have to. Okay, and then here, remember we're pushing up against the petals. We're going to push up against those petals and make it dark in there because you see how that just sunk that right down in there. This one is definitely coming out underneath, and then this one, you see that how it kind of looks like there's sort of like a middle part to that, and then we got this little guy over here just doing his own thing. Okay, so here, all right, and then I just do a quick. So this can be anything. Let's say you do not want to draw a flower. Let's say that you are adamantly opposed from drawing a flower. Will not happen, won't do it. That's fine. Cut something out, put it on there. It really, you pray and just enter into it with God, and you can't go wrong. So this is just a white colored pencil. You can always put a white colored pencil over paint. It's a great easy way to pop in just a little bit of color or highlights. So then I have that. Okay, so I don't really know that I did a good edge on that. So let's give our edge. It's not an exact science. I don't worry if it goes over. That's fine. It's all good. Can't go wrong. Okay, so here, now I've got that one done. So now, this is a pen I like. It's all in Japanese. Can you see? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Come to me. Okay, so it's called, Tombow. It's got a big long name. Yeah, calligraphy pen. It's a brush point pen. And it's made by PET. It's a Tombow calligraphy pen. So, and that's what the, where are you? That's what the tip looks like. See it? So you can manipulate where you are on when you're writing. So if your head on, it's very thin, and then if you go to the side, it'll get thick. So let me show you. So I'm just kind of writing on mine, praying for you. You see how that shows how it can get thicker and then thinner and thicker and thinner. So, okay, so I'm going to show you here. So on your downstroke, you're going to apply more pressure so that on your downstroke, you get a thicker line. So here, downstroke, and then I'm coming up light, downstroke R, downstroke A, downstroke, praying. So there you have praying for you. Now back here, the scripture that I'm using is, now listen, I know I could do this very long and very carefully, and they could all be downstroke and all that kind of stuff, but I tend to get, when there's so many to do, I just kind of get that scripture written on there. Because he bends down to listen. You can put little like Hujiwikis around in there because that does make it look kind of fun. I will pray. I love this scripture. As long as I have some 116 too. So you see that I'm not done with mine yet. I have to write my scriptures on the back of all my cards. And then I just will like paper clip on our Salty Sidewalks tag so that people know how to get back in touch with us. I love to hear the testimonies that people share. See, look how cute that's going to be. I love to hear the testimonies, then people share their stories and how God spoke to them, you know, and all we did was show up with a little piece of artwork that says that we prayed for them. So I hope that that helped you guys. That's all I got. Thank you. Have a great night. Bye.